When I chose to marry my soulmate, I believed wholeheartedly that we had created a bond strong enough to endure any hardship life might throw our way. Our relationship was built on a foundation of unwavering trust, and I envisioned a future where our love would overcome every obstacle. I thought we were unbreakable, destined to navigate life together no matter what came our way. But life has an uncanny way of teaching us harsh lessons, often in the most painful and unexpected ways. It was during one of those moments that I found myself faced with a challenge I never anticipated, one that compelled me to share this story, a story woven with disbelief, heartbreak, and the sting of betrayal. Rita and I had known each other for what felt like a lifetime. We grew up in the same neighborhood, attended the same schools, and shared countless memories that formed the intricate tapestry of our relationship. Our lives had been intertwined for so long that I convinced myself I knew her better than anyone else. I believed I had seen the depths of her soul, that there were no secrets left between us. But as I reflect on those years now, I realize just how naive and painfully untrue that belief was. Life has a cruel way of revealing truths that feel like a stab in the back, and the lessons I learned were as bitter as they were life-altering. Everything changed on New Year's Eve, a night that should have been filled with celebration and joy. Rita told me her office was hosting a party she couldn't miss. At first, I felt a fleeting unease, but I quickly dismissed it. She had recently earned a promotion, one she had worked hard for, and I told myself that this party was an opportunity for her to celebrate her success with her colleagues. My own company was hosting a party the same evening, and for years we had attended these events together. But this time, for the first time, I found myself going alone. At the party, my colleagues joked with me, teasing that I was letting my wife out of sight on a night like New Year's Eve. They warned, laughing, that someone might swoop in and steal her away. I laughed along with them, brushing off their remarks. I trusted Rita completely, and the idea of her betraying me seemed absurd. Yet, despite my laughter, their comments planted a seed of doubt in my mind, a small, nagging thought that lingered just beneath the surface. By the time that doubt began to take root, it was already too late. I tried to enjoy the evening, but I couldn't shake the growing sense of unease. Needing a moment to clear my head, I stepped outside into the cool night air. The breeze was refreshing, calming even, and I was just about to head back inside when my phone buzzed with an incoming message. The message was from an unknown number. Not just one, but a series of emails. At first, I dismissed them as spam, convincing myself they were nothing more than a random nuisance. After all, if something had gone wrong with Rita, surely she would have called me directly. As the night wore on and the party reached its peak, the fireworks lit up the sky in a vibrant display. But just as I stood watching, another message arrived from the same unfamiliar number. This time, I felt compelled to open it. Something in the back of my mind told me I couldn't ignore it any longer. When I finally read the message, the words hit me like a physical blow. My breath caught, and I reread the text, struggling to comprehend the accusations it contained. The subsequent messages were even worse, each one cutting deeper than the last. They spoke of Rita in ways that were unimaginable, their implications clear and devastating. What unsettled me the most was the sender's familiarity with my life, as though they knew intimate details about us. Rita's absence from the party and her lack of response to my calls only amplified my anxiety. The festive fireworks around me seemed like a cruel mockery of the turmoil I felt inside. Unable to bear it any longer, I left the party and made my way to her office. I managed to hail a taxi, and the eerily quiet streets on the way there only heightened my sense of dread. When I arrived at the building, I was met by one of her colleagues, who approached me with a grim expression. She grabbed my arm and whispered, "I saw your wife go into her boss's office." My heart began to race as I made my way toward the office. With each step, I braced myself for what I might find, but nothing could have prepared me for the sight that awaited me. Pushing the door open, I saw Rita and her boss together in a way that left no room for doubt. My entire world shattered in that moment. A surge of anger and adrenaline took over, and I lunged at her boss, landing a punch squarely on his face. My rage was overwhelming, but something inside me stopped me from turning my fury on Rita. Later, I learned the messages had come from a friend of hers, the same colleague who had directed me to the office. I never investigated her reasons for exposing the truth. Perhaps she thought she was helping me, or maybe she had her own motivations. Whatever the case, the damage was done. No amount of reasoning could undo the betrayal I felt. Even now, I am haunted by the events of that night. I grapple with conflicting emotions, unsure of how to feel about the person who exposed the truth. Should I be grateful for their intervention, or should I resent them for tearing my world apart? The saying, ignorance is bliss, lingers in my mind, and I wonder if I would have been better off not knowing. But once the truth is revealed, there is no turning back. On one hand, I couldn't live with the burden of a lie. On the other, the painful reality of knowing dismantled the life I had cherished. It feels as though there is no resolution that will bring peace, and I am left to carry the weight of a truth I never asked for, a truth that has forever changed me. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Beyond the surface.